So after months of, I guess, rumours and speculation, we finally know that Vans Warped Tour is coming back in 2025. Let's break this down a little bit further. Now, if you don't know what Warped Tour is, it was a travelling festival that ran for 25 years. It ended on that 25th anniversary in 2019. I mean, from the UK was something that I always wanted to go to. I grew up watching so many videos of Warped Tour, so many bands that you would listen to would be on there, and with such a diverse lineup of pop punk, of metalcore, of even deathcore with it. It was kind of a mecca at every place it went to for alternative fans to go and watch some incredible music, discover new artists. And you can look back at previous years and see so many bands that are huge nowadays that grew up being on Warped Tour back like in the early 2010s. It was a staple for bringing new music forwards, for pushing bands. It became something bands would aspire to play at, give them a brand new platform to something that was so iconic within our alternative kind of music scene. Now, being in the UK, it was something that me and Alex in particular would grow up watching sets of bands up on YouTube, always wishing, I'd love to go. And then it ended kind of a bit before we started doing all of this with the channel and everything. So it's kind of nice to see it come back. We did talk about it on our most recent podcast a little bit more in depth about our opinions and should it return, who could headline, what format should it kind of be, how it should look in a very different, I guess, environment of music festivals nowadays. So go and check that out for sure. But we have the news here, so let's take a bit more of a look at it. I mean, first of all, just look at that gorgeous, iconic sign. Gives me memories of watching like Neck Deep, Wage War sets and things like that. Kevin Lyman's spoken with Rolling Stone, as you can see here. They're going to just do 3 dates next year. It's not going to be a full tour. Kind of talks in there about not taking around 40 odd cities again. So it kind of follows a bit of how 2019 was, with just kind of 3 separate dates, if I remember correctly. But we've got one that's going to be in Washington, we've got one that's going to be in California, and we've got one that's going to be in Florida. So a few places out the year. I find it interesting that you've got 2 of them like summertime, June and July, and one in November is a bit interesting to have. So a little bit intriguing. I don't know why it's not necessarily in the summer. Maybe anything else conflicting that I'm not sure of. Pre-sale available now. And this is the interesting part for me here. Each city will host 70 to 100 bands. That's a lot of fucking bands. That's a lot of artists. That's a lot of musicians that could be there. So this does bring immediate nostalgia back to Warped Tour and how big it would be. You could have to run from stage to stage, not from experience, just from watching it, but to go and see so many different amazing artists on there. I like that he's included about a mix of new artists and veterans. So you're going to see some of those people that made Warped Tour exactly what it was. And then you're going to get those people who, kind of similar to me in a way, but as musicians, they grew up on this and they're going to get to have that opportunity to play Warped Tour next year, which is absolutely mind-blowing, to be honest. Apparently they're going to be bringing out weekly kind of updates on bands. So now we've had this announcement. It's not fully clear yet then if this is going to be next week we find out the first few bands. I guess we're going to have to wait and see, but at least we know now it is back. The speculation can come to a close. You can get your pre-sale tickets now, like I mentioned. And Kevin Lyman, if you're watching, would love to come as press for this. So please invite us over. It would be wonderful. It would make younger me very, very happy to be able to attend something that was formative in my kind of listening habits anyway, let alone Dan and Alex in particular. But yeah, it's back. Like I said earlier on, we discussed it in the latest episode of the podcast, so you can kind of see that link up there. Let us know who you think could headline this. Who's the right kind of size? Maybe it's an older band, maybe it's a newer band. It looks like they're doing 2 days in each of the spots they're going to, so you could have kind of a double bill of headliner. Would one be old, would one be new? There's so many options here with this that it's kind of difficult to think of. And also the scale of it, the music kind of side of things with festivals. It's expensive nowadays. So it'll be interesting to see the caliber of artists who are going to be topping the bill, what the investment might be within it, and how this kind of continues. And if this is a one-off for a 30th anniversary as it is next year, or whether it continues. We've kind of still got to see how the land lies with that. But yeah, let us know. Like the video, subscribe, all kinds of amazing things. You can join the Ragamuffin Club, where I'm sure we'll be having a big discussion about that in there, talking about all of this, who should play, bit of debates. It's better than the YouTube comment section, so it means that we can actually have better musical conversations. And we also do have our website. We've got t-shirts up available, so follow the link in the description, cop yourself a t-shirt, be a ragamuffin, and we'll see you soon.